Good morning and welcome. Happy November, everyone. Wow, this year, and it starts, it feels like it's dragging on, and then all of a sudden, it's November. Halloween was last week as we had fun with my pumpkins, and now the weather is cooler. My sister sent me a picture of fall leaves in Maryland where she lives, and it's just a great time of year, even though the newscast talks about all the bad things about the cold weather, especially with this pandemic and everything else. It's just a beautiful time of year, and yet all you hear is about the negative sides of it. In Bermuda and other places where it's warmer, we tend to spend a little bit more time outside because it's not as hot. And then in other climates, you spend more time inside. Wherever you are, stay safe. God is guiding us all through all these challenges in our world, and it's all good. So, how are you doing? Did you go trick-or-treating or have fun? Whatever you did, I just hope you had fun, because we talked about zeal last month and attitudes during that time, and I want us to focus on those things that are positive instead of the negatives that you hear out in the world. So keep the zeal going. Remember those emoji faces and all those things. Find a fun space. Find something different that can keep a smile on your face for this month as well. This month the theme is release. And it's perfect. We talked about attitudes and great things. Now we need to let go of all the negative. We're coming towards the end of this year. Into the Christmas time, and of course there's negativity about Christmas time, that time of the year as well. I won't get into it, but let's release all of those negative thoughts and words that we hear out there and affirm goodness. So usually in Unity we do during the Lenten season we do a great big Affirmations and Denials section, and this year I didn't do it because I was talking about wisdom and some other things. So I thought it was a perfect time to use those affirmations and denials for this month of the power of release, because it talks about releasing things and then renewing them. So remember, I found this little quote before we go into our prayer. Autumn shows us how beautiful it is to let things go. So that's what we're going to talk about with autumn and releasing and the fall leaves. And I forgot to mention, did you set your clocks back? Because there was negativity around that on fall back clocks. Was one of the things I heard. Fall back Sunday, sorry, they're called. It's the headlines on the news, and then it's the negativity about changing the clocks back an hour. And let's release and let it go. And remember, fall or autumn shows us how beautiful it is to let things go. So my picture also shows a picture of an autumn leaf, the change that is taking place in our seasons. So let's pray. Take a deep breath in. Heavenly Spirit, Father, that is present within each of us, we give thanks for the goodness, for the love that is within us, that we share with the world, even in times of negativity and hardship. We know that the presence of God is within us, guiding us every step of the way. For we are blessed and open to the divineness of God within us, around us, and about us. As we move through our daily lives and through the ups and downs and changes and the good, the bads, the fun, the joyful times, we give thanks to God. And we appreciate all the little things that happen in the midst of the challenging things. And we appreciate and give thanks for the wonderful big things in the midst of the less challenging things. So we thank God for all that is right here, right now, as children of God, standing firm in trust and faith, knowing that we will get through all these challenges that we face in our world right now that are continually going on. But they seem to be always in our face. So we release and let go and let God. So we bless our friends and our co-workers, our family members. I bless my Unity Bermuda congregants as we gather here each, whatever day that we listen to this podcast. We give thanks. We bless our parents, our cousins, our friends, those we don't know, everyone in the world. We send blessings and healing blessings. We know that this pandemic is still out there causing challenges in different areas of our lives. Here in Bermuda, we are in a good place. Yes, we've lost a couple more people that transitioned from this COVID. And around the world, it's happening every day. But we thank God that it's a shift here in our little island as we move forward, and pray that we continue to move forward healthy, whole, and complete. For we hear of things changing in big parts of Europe and China and the UK. The variant is sending more people to the hospital and testing is more positive. Let us hold on to trust and know that God is in the midst of it, and we will get through it. And even though it sounds like we keep saying that and it's nothing changing, it is changing. One thing that is constant in our lives is change. And God is with us every step of the way. And we give thanks. We give thanks for all the paths that move us in the right directions, all the guidance that is given to each and every one of us that keeps us healthy, whole, and complete. So we say thank you, God, for all the blessings that we receive, from minute to gigantic. We know that God is in the midst of it, and we give thanks and appreciation. For this is also Thanksgiving month, which is every month. And we give thanks from our giving hearts to each and every person in this world. We send blessings and love and faith to keep on keeping on. Each moment and each breath and each day, awaken to a new day, releasing and letting go and renewing your mind to the possibilities. Amen. Amen. And so we talk about all the changes we release and we let go. And the daily word says, all is in divine order. That's the title for today, divine order. And we affirm, I live in harmony with divine order. I live in harmony with divine order. And it says today, life is in constant motion, even if that motion is imperceptible to me. When I feel stuck in place or impatient with my progress, I consider the gradual yet orderly pattern of the seasons as they change. The single golden leaf I notice one day will become part of a blaze of color just a few weeks later. The brisk chill in the morning air soon will lead to biting cold and snow. The first tender seedlings of spring will bring bright blooms and a verdant canopy, followed by long, sultry days of summer. Little by little, one season turns into the next. My growth and understanding may happen in much the same way. Even if I don't notice changes day to day, my life is always in motion and in order. James 2:22 says, you see that faith was active along with his works, and faith was brought to completion by his works. Amen to that. For all is in divine order. So we give thanks for that reading today. I found a new song called Release and Let Go by Denise Granulin, and it's got that old world beat to it. So let's listen to this today before we get into our talk entitled Release Then Renew. So listen to this. See, snap your fingers, get into the rhythm of it. It's release and let go.
I've had some thoughts that seem to hold me back, worries and fears that kept me way off track, out of the light and far from the love, feeling like I might not be good enough. Starting today, I'm gonna make a change and watch those old thoughts as they all go up in flame. It's time to release and let go and let the Spirit take me. Let my new thoughts make me everything I am. I am love, I am faith, I believe and I know. It's time to release and let go. It's time to release and let go. Starting today, I have new intentions on a new path, with a new direction. All of what God is and has is mine. I'm gonna claim it now and all the time. Goodness and love are all I'm gonna see, and know that I need is always here inside of me. It's time to release and let go and let the Spirit take me. Let my new thoughts make me everything I am. I am love, I am faith, I believe and I know. It's time to release and let go. Oh, it's time to release and let go. Starting today, I'm gonna make a change and watch those old thoughts as they all go up in flames. Time to release and let go and let the Spirit take me. Let my new thoughts make me everything I am. I am love, I am faith, I believe and I know. It's time to release and let
I hope you like that song. And it's got that bebop, I guess that's the word you use from the olden days when they snapped their fingers and did all those dance steps and get you in that groove of those times. But the wording, love yourself, release and let go and claim the love that you are. Know that you are a child of God, blessed in the Spirit. Just release and let go. So what does release mean? We always go to our revealing word by co-founder Charles Fillmore. What does it mean? We also call it renunciation, whether it's the power of renunciation and unity. It's the letting go of the old thoughts. What are the thoughts that are hanging on your mind that are keeping you stuck in an old place? What are those thoughts that won't let you go forward because you won't let them go? You need to release those old thoughts and bring about new thoughts that fill your consciousness with, for me, positivity. When I talked about last month, changing your attitudes, and that's how we do it. We shift how we think about and see things. Even though we see and hear about darkness all the time, we can see the light, even if it's a flicker sometime, and we can grasp onto that and let go of the negativity and step into the light of God. When we don't release, our mind is unhealthy, and so we need to create a healthy mind where we willingly let go of things and grasp onto the new, so that we quickly step into the bold and wonderful as we release all that stuff behind us. Yes, the news, if you listen to it, will keep you stuck. It will keep you in the darkness if you don't learn to let it go and see the goodness in the midst of it. Because there's always somewhere in the news a smidgen of good. It's amazing. You don't get much of it, but there is. But you know what? If you don't listen to the news and step out in the world, there's a lot of good. The sun rises and sets, the moon comes out and goes away. There's birds are chirping. It's so many wonderful things going on. Go back to the simplicity of nature so that you can release. So I said we're going to talk about affirmations and denials this month. So I'm going to share some affirmations, and we'll talk briefly about each one of them. Release. The first one is, I release any belief in limitation. This world has made us all think of limitation. It's so bad that the first thing you heard is, oh my, Christmas is not going to be like usual because the shelves are going to be empty and you're not going to find the things you want for your children. I'm going, well, make something. There are so much abundance and things out there, but we're worrying about a toy on a shelf in a store. Going back to the simplicity of the world. And yes, children and today are looking for what they saw on TV and stuff like that. But we are the stewards. We can shift their minds and lead them to a place where that simple thing of I don't know, I didn't have children, but finding those wonderful simple things that they can do. A friend of mine who makes jewelry says, what are you talking about? They're not going to find gifts in the store. I can make something. If you're not creative, there are so many creative people out there, small businesses that are making wonderful things that you can get as Christmas gifts instead of the usual things. So make a change. Release and let go of the old way of doing your Christmas shopping and try something new. And in the midst of that, you gain possibilities. You release your belief in limitation and you renew a sense of possibility. That's what we just did. So what does limitation mean? Limitation are those narrow, restrictive thoughts that hold us in bondage. that hold us back. They have a belief in lack and illness and death and all those things. When we want to think about prosperity and good health and goodness and a zest for life. So let's release any belief in limitation and renew our sense of possibilities. That's what we're going to do. The next ones are, I release a habit of judging others. And this one's a big one because to me, and it's always been out there in the world, but social media has exacerbated the way in which we judge. People just judge on the things that are not even worth judging. I know there are many people who thought it, but now they have an avenue to get out there and say anything negative that they want. It was so interesting as a ladies move. Someone posted a picture of, was so happy we finally got to go to a wedding with some friends because of the pandemic they couldn't get together. She had a beautiful dress on and her son was there. And her son, he's 18 years old, was dressed up, looked handsome, but didn't have socks on. So what is it? See, the first thing that somebody says, that is not right. He should be wearing socks. No. Why do we have to judge a lovely family photo and find the littlest thing like socks to put a negative spin on a wonderful smiling picture? So I want us to release the habit of judging others, of evaluating, comparing, and contrast. I want us to use spiritual discernment where we go to that inner voice that looks for an expression that is greater than what we see out there. So we see the goodness in that. When we see a picture of a happy family, see how happy they are. Don't look at anything else or judge anything else in that photo. And if you're going to say anything, say something good. And if you don't, as my grandmother always says, you can't say something good, don't say anything at all. So the other side of this is, I renew my commitment to see the divine in all things. I renew my commitment to see the divine in all things. So we're going to release our way of judging everything in a negative manner and step into a way of seeing the divine, the light in different things. The next one is, I release all doubt and indecision. I release all doubt and indecision. Throughout this pandemic, many of us have had many doubts. What am I going to do next? How am I going to get through this? I can't make a decision because this is going to happen, this is going to happen. When we trust in God, we release those doubts and we renew our divine power of wisdom. I talked about the power of wisdom. It's when we can go within and find that guidance that tells us the path that we're meant to go on. We don't have to doubt who we are. We stand strong in our confidence. Psalm 25:15 says, my eyes are ever on the Lord, for only He will release my feet from the snare. That snare is what's holding us in doubt and indecision. We want to put our eyes on God and trust in God and release any of those doubts and renew our divine power of wisdom. Don't be stuck in doubt and weak, because it makes us weak. We want to have strength. When we have faith in ourselves and God, and that comes through God, we have that ability to become giants and release that smallness that indecision and doubt brings about. I found this daily word that was entitled, I release all doubt and indecision, which I want to share it with you now. It says, we all encounter doubt. Moses, Jesus, and Buddha had doubts until through prayer, doubt was transformed into knowing. Deep questioning helps us know our minds and soul as we ask, what is mine to do? Remember the questions I always say? This is one of the great lessons of the master teachers. We welcome the doubts that lead to clarity and discernment toward taking great right action. But there are also anxious habits of doubt and this indecision that can hound us into analysis paralysis, asking too many outside opinions through insecurity or putting off making commitments. Fear-based doubts and indecision do not serve us. Are we even aware of those patterns? Looking closely, is indecision simply the fear of making a mistake or not being perfect? Fear and false belief about ourselves put us in self-made prisons of negativity and create feelings of unworthiness that were never true. By letting go, remember, release, with faith that our spiritual perfection includes the gifts of power and understanding, we engage our creative energy to manifest our dreams and visions. Divine mind, we talked about that in the other daily word. The Christ light within is active in our lives to help show the way. Release the doubt and indecision and renew our thoughts of wisdom that comes from the Christ within. And it says this one from 2 Timothy 1, for God did not give us a spirit of cowardice, but rather a spirit of power and of love and of self-discipline. Remember that. Remember that. So the next one we're going to talk about with release, I release negative thinking. Now it's similar to the others, yes. But let's focus on what are you thinking about right now? Is it a negative thought about what's happening in your day? Or is it a positive thought about what's happening in this day? Negative thoughts or a state of consciousness that are negative pushes away the good that can be in your life. It shows the mostly lack and limitation, which we talked about, or poverty, or all of those things. We want to release negative thinking. What are you going to do to release negative thinking? Turn to the Christ within. God is your resource. There are so many ways in which we can turn within and renew our positive expectations. That's the other side of it. Our positive expectations of our world and of our life and of what's going on around us each and every day. Psalm 143 verse 10 says, let your good spirit lead you on a level path. When you release that negative thinking, you get to go on an even path and let go those bumpy roads and those scary thoughts. And you have positive expectations, even in this world that seems so chaotic and negative. My husband and I had this conversation just the other day. He switched the channel. It was the Weather Channel. Oh my goodness. Talk about negative thinking and words. Everything that came out of the weather broadcaster was negative. It was a windy, it was talking about a storm. I think it was last week or something. And literally, look at the crest of the waves. And I'm like, well, we always have waves. The waves wouldn't even be moving that much. It was just like a choppy day on the water. And they were saying, oh, how bad it is. And I'm like, if we immerse ourselves in all this negative thoughts and thinking and words all the time, how do we get to have positive expectations of our world? Turn off the TV sometimes, especially the news and everything. Yes, let the weather tell you if something, you can just step outside and it'll let you know what's going on most of the time. But allow yourself to see the positive in that world so that your expectations begin to shift and change. And the last one I'm going to share today is I release discontent, and then I renew my gratitude in all things. Let's release discontent. Our world, yes, has so much going on right now. And many of us are discontent with our lives, dissatisfied with our lives and the circumstances that are going on. And yes, some of those things aren't going to go away, but we can release the heaviness that is on our shoulders, that is holding us back and creating the doubt and the lack and the limitation thoughts. Let's release those thoughts and pave a way to increase the good. And always increasing the good ways to do that is through gratitude. It's saying, thank you, I woke up today. Thank you, I'm breathing. Thank you, I can get out of bed. Yeah, I might ache. Thank you that the sun is shining, the rain has come that we really needed. Thank you for the snow. Thank you for the fall leaves. Thank you for family and friends. Yes, I might have lost one, but thank you for the memories I have of them. Giving thanks, renewing your gratitude and everything, releases the discontent. It shifts your mindset. So I hope you got all those for you to release. So I'm going to say them quickly before we go in meditation. Release any belief in limitation and renew your sense of possibility. Release habits of judging others and renew your commitment to see the divine in all things. Release all doubt and indecision and renew your divine power of wisdom. Release negative thinking and renew your positive expectations. Release discontent and renew gratitude in all things. So let's take those thoughts into our meditation. So let's take a deep breath in and out, and in and out. As you breathe in and out, yesterday is gone. You are here in the now, breathing in this new day. Release attachments to negative thinking and thoughts and things in the world. And access the good. Release any thoughts and feelings that are holding you back, and step into activities that bring forth good. Know that you are blessed with renewal right now. You are optimistic, energized, and filled with hope. Breathe. Release and let go. And take another deep breath in and out, and come back to this now moment with a smile on your face, blessed in the spirit, and know that all is well in God. So our closing affirmation today is, I release everything that holds me back from receiving greater understanding and experiencing newness of life. I release everything that holds me back from receiving greater understanding and experiencing newness in life. So as we close, let the light of God surround you, the love of God enfold you, the power of God protect you, His presence watches over you wherever you are. God is and all is well, and you are richly blessed right now. Namaste. Until next time.